Good evening. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We're a startup company based in Austin, Texas. We are focused on helping student athletes successfully transition from high school to college and then into a career once their eligibility is over. We have a tremendous sponsor. We are sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is a sports bar that is a national chain. I partnered with them to put together a spotlight showcase of 4 specific high schools here in the state of Texas. Katy James E. Taylor High School being one of them, Cy Woods, another one in the North Houston area, and then 2 schools out of San Antonio, Judson High School and Highlands High School. So I want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings for being a sponsor. And through their sponsorship, besides highlighting student athletes like the one you're about to hear from, they're also creating a fundraiser program specifically for the Taylor High School program that anytime you go into their sports bar, tell them you're a supporter of Taylor High School football, they will donate 10% of your bill back to the football program, not just for one day, not just for a week, but for the entire season. So make sure when you go and support your Taylor Mustangs that you mention the school at Buffalo Wild Wings, and it'll help raise some money for the program going forward next year. So I'm really excited to be part of Buffalo Wild Wings and be a big supporter of this show and helping to spotlight student athletes like the one we're about to hear from. And there's a lot of good ones here in the state of Texas, but specifically this young man who is a linebacker. And as you know, if you've been following the show, as a former linebacker myself and high school and college coach of linebackers, I'm excited to hear more about his story. You can see that Aanooalii is of Samoan descent. He's a class of 21 linebacker. He's at James E. Taylor High School in the Katy area, 5'10", 215 pounds, a great GPA of 3.7. He's a National Honor Society member. He's also, and you'll hear from him about this shortly, he is a rugby state champion runner-up. So I want to hear more about his rugby style, and you can see how to contact him, coaches, through his Twitter name right there. Aanooalii, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm looking forward to hearing more about your story. I've watched your video. You're obviously a really good linebacker who's having a major impact in the success for the Mustang season this year. But let's jump right in here and talk about the most important thing that coaches care about, and that is academics. Tell us about the importance that you put on your academics.
So for me, school actually comes first because it's the reason why I'm playing football to begin with. I'm playing to get a scholarship, so I always try my hardest in school because if I get a scholarship but I don't have good grades, there's no use in even doing this. So
Yeah. So tell me, what are some of your favorite subjects that drive that GPA?
Oh yeah, so I'm really bad at like English, so I just like math stuff in general. But I took pre-cal last year, and I'm actually done with all my years of math, so I don't even have to take a math this year. But I decided to take AP Stats just because.
Okay. And then do you have an idea of what you might want to major in when you get to college next year?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I used to go to engineering camps, and that really interested me. So, I'll probably go along with that.
I love it. So I'm blessed to also get my engineering degree from playing football in college and use it in my career in high tech. Is there a specific engineering discipline that you're focused on? Electrical, mechanical, architecture? What are you thinking?
Okay, so that's the hard part because I was interested in a lot of them, so I have to decide like which one specifically I want to do.
Right. Okay. You got time. So you're going to knock out those basics first and then get into engineering. Tell us, are there any specific teachers at Taylor High School or coaches or tutors that you'd like to shout out right now that have helped you maintain that high GPA?
Yeah. So Coach Jensen, he's definitely my favorite coach. The first one I met when I moved here sophomore year. He's just been like a big support in everything I do. Like always keeping up with my grades and stuff. So.
Okay. What about any teachers that have made learning fun for you that you want to shout out?
Not really. Just Coach Jensen's my favorite coach.
Okay. All right. No problem with that. Anna, one of the things that college coaches want to understand about their prospects is their learning style, both in the classroom and on the field. Tell these coaches, are you more of a verbal, visual, or hands-on learning style?
So I'm more of a hands-on. I learn the best when I'm like actually doing the work, in there.
Okay. And is that the same thing on the football field also? Do you like how you more of a hands-on, or you like to see it visually? You're a film guy. Give us a little bit of information there.
Okay, so yeah, even in the football field, I'm more of a hands-on learner. Like when they say to get mental reps, it's hard for me to just sit there and watch like how to do it. When I'm
Yeah.
actually going through the actions of what I'm supposed to do, I learn better, faster and faster.
Okay. Gotcha. Makes sense. And then tell us, one of the things that coaches use to evaluate players is body language. We hear a lot about body language on the sidelines, body language on the field when things go bad or things go good. Tell us about your body language in the classroom. Do you sit up front? Are you a help to the teacher? Tell us about what kind of body language you have in your classroom.
Oh yeah, so inside the classroom, I'm like one of the nicest people you ever meet. I'm like a teacher's pet kind of, but but on the field, I'm like I have to turn on the switch. What I'm saying, I have to what do you call it? I have to be more serious and play aggressive. So it's like two different people.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Hey, let's switch over to learn more about you personally. You mentioned that you had just moved here your sophomore year. Give us a little bit of background about your journey and what got you down to Katy, Texas.
Yeah. So since freshman year, I've been always like I've been playing football, like trying to get seen. But coming from Alaska, there's not really many opportunities like that. And so my family decided to move here sophomore year, and I've just been trying to prove myself ever since sophomore year, being on varsity and show these kids I can ball out too.
Tell us, Alaska and Texas, two different cultures and two different climates. How's that transition been going for you, getting used to the warm weather compared to Alaska?
Oh yeah, it took me a while. I didn't even want to go outside the first time I came here. Yeah, I felt like a sauna everywhere I go, but I got used to it after a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about your family a little bit. Tell us about your mom and dad, what they do for a living. Are you an only child? Are you the oldest, the youngest? Give us a little bit about the background of your family.
Okay, so I come from a family of eight. I have five siblings, six including me, and I'm the oldest son. So I feel like I have to be an example to my younger siblings. Like it's like a must for me to do this so that they can see and follow in my footsteps. And we, what do you call it? We've been we lived in Mountain View. I don't know if you know where that is in Alaska. It's like really dangerous, but we had to live there in order to save up to move to Texas, and just made so many sacrifices just to have this opportunity.
Yeah.
And just thankful to God for all of this.
Oh man, thankful to have you here, and that's a real good shout out to your family and doing whatever they can to help you be successful. Tell us a little bit about, we know how hard you work for the football season, especially now with the pandemic, and you guys are off having a good season. But tell us, what do you like to do in your spare time? Well, when you're not doing homework, you're not working out. What does Aaron like to do to spend time on his own?
Okay, I just like to play video games. I'm either playing video games or I'm outside playing football or working out. It's really
Okay.
only those two things.
Okay. A lot of players I talk to are obviously into video games. You a Madden guy? You a 2K, Call of Duty? What's your game of choice?
Oh yeah, I don't even play sports games. I play Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
Okay. Well, then, obvious question: are you giving L's? You taking L's?
I'm giving L's. I'm trying hard on those. I'm gonna try hard
Okay.
on.
I like it. I like it. Hey, social media is a big part of recruiting now for these coaches. Tell us in a short summary, what does your social media presence say about you? What kind of message are you trying to put out there about yourself as a recruitable athlete?
Yeah, so on all my social medias, I just wanted to reflect who I am and how I am as a person, and so like people can see and like just by a quick glance, they can already tell what kind of person I am. I like most of my posts are either sports or church. So
Yeah, man, it's big time. And then going back to the transition from Alaska, I mean, obviously we are very rampant about high school football. It's part of the culture here. I don't think it's like that in Alaska, but just kind of give us a little bit of the differences between high school football in Alaska and high school football in Texas from your own words.
yeah, so it's definitely more competitive up here. I mean, down here, I guess that's how you say it. But when I first moved here, everyone it was like they they would see me like, oh, he's from Alaska, he can't ball out, and so was tough going through all of that. Like first coming, trying to join the team, had to really prove myself to the coaches and then to my own teammates that I belong here and I can ball out just like them. And
Yeah.
so
I did some research on you and found out that you're also a big time rugby player and that you were actually state runner ups in your club rugby team. Tell us a little bit about that sport and how it helps you as a football player.
yeah, I play rugby I play rugby to prepare me for the football season because I don't want to get less physical or less aggressive. And I also just love rugby as a sport. I like you can do anything. You can run the ball, you can tackle people, and so I just like the aggressiveness of it. Like just the whole sport in general, just everything about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, big time. No, I have a lot of rugby players from my past, and they like football, but they prefer rugby. So I'm not surprised to hear that. Hey, get a couple of I call them my favorite questions. What is your favorite football movie?
So my favorite football movie, it's the first one I've ever watched. That's why it's called Remember the Titans. It's
Yep.
the yeah, it's the first one I ever watched, so that's why it's my favorite.
Yeah, great choice. One of my favorites also. What is your favorite food? I'm sure coming from Alaska might have a little bit different culinary taste, but what is your all-time favorite food that you like to eat?
Yeah, I actually ate a lot of Asian food in Alaska, so I like fried rice and stuff.
Okay. And then what about music? I'm sure you listen to a lot of different types of music. What kind of music do you listen to, and who's your favorite artist?
So I listen to a lot of different types of music. So I don't really have a favorite one, but if I was to choose one, it'd probably be like Young Boy or something.
Okay. All right. And then tell us, I call this my dream scenario question. Anno, if you have 4 great years in college and you find yourself in New York City at the NFL draft, who is sitting with you at your table waiting for the commissioner to call your name at the draft?
Definitely my parents. They've done so much for me. They made so many sacrifices, and just to see the look on their face, like when I finally make it, and they'll mean everything to me. And also my siblings because I'm doing this for them. I want to lead them, like be an example for them. So
Do you have siblings that also played athlete? Are they also athletes?
yeah, so my sister's a freshman, JV basketball at Taylor, and she also plays basketball outside of school. And then
Okay.
my brother, he plays JV too on the football team. Yeah, and then my other siblings, they're too young. So
Okay. Gotcha. Could show a good example of that. It's great to hear. I know a lot about the Polynesian culture from my days in California. I know you guys are very active in church. Tell these coaches, what do you do to give back to your community? I know you're involved in church. Tell us a little bit about that. And are there other activities that you're doing to give back to the Katy community?
okay, yeah. So for since I've been here, I've just been doing lots of stuff for my church and like fundraisers and just anything to help them. And my mom signed me up for most of them, so I don't really have a choice. And but when I was back in Alaska, I would do lots of stuff for the homeless, and I forgot what it's called, but it's a place I would go to, and I would just help them cook and serve the food to the homeless.
Hmm.
And I also did this. It's called something about it was an Olympic thing for the special needs, like the
Hmm.
little special needs Olympics. And
Yeah,
so I just helped the host with that. The
good stuff.
yeah.
No, that's important, and I'm sure you enjoy that. It's good to hear that you're giving back in your life. Tell me, I know football is eventually going to come to an end one day. I always like to remind prospects of that. What do you think your life will look like once football is over, whenever that is? What kind of job will you have? Will you be married? What are some of your goals once you're done playing this game?
So after doing football, I see myself with like probably with a family and working and helping my siblings with their life too, and also yeah, that's really it. It's just everything's for my siblings and my
Yeah.
family.
Okay. Good stuff. And then let's transition now to recruiting. So you're a senior now. Tell these coaches, how would your teammates describe you as a teammate in your 2 years there at Taylor High School?
Uh, what do you call it? Well, they used to call me a CTE because I would always ram my head into people when I hit. Yes, they all know like I'm a competitor. Lots of them, I like to compete with my teammates, and it makes both of us better as a player. So
Well, I meant to ask you. So you played football in Alaska. Did you play football younger, or what age did you start playing football?
I started playing football since I was 8, and then I stopped for a little bit, and I came back. I played when I was seventh grade, and I just kept playing until now.
Okay, okay, I understand. And then tell us, are you you a weight room guy? You like to be in the weight room, get bigger, faster, stronger?
Yeah, when I'm in the weight room, I go 100%. But from my perspective of the game, my speed is everything. So I rather work on my speed than uh, inside a weight room. But I
Yeah,
do go hard in the weight room too.
yeah, absolutely. Definitely, speed is a big part of being a good linebacker. Tell these coaches, are you a dependable player? Are you a player that tells your teammates and coaches, if I say I'm going to be there at 2 o'clock or early for me, I'm going to be there? How would you describe yourself as a dependable player?
Yeah, I try not to be late. I learned since junior year that what do you call it? I forgot what the word is, but I made lots of mistakes when I was a junior, and I was always late, and I would not know what to do inside the game. So I've learned since then, and now that I'm a starter, I have to know what to do inside of games and everything about the other team, so I can be dependable and they can rely on me on everything.
Okay. Tell us, Anu, how do you're a senior now, how do you define leadership and how are you leading your team this year during this football season?
Yeah, so just to be a leader, just you gotta I forgot the word. You have to what do you call it? I had a bad run in with one of my teammates last year. It was because emotion took over, and I learned that you have to just get past that. Just be a good teammate, and they know what they did. You know what you can't change whatever they do. You can only move forward.
Right.
So the best way to be a leader is just to move forward, and don't play the blame game.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand. Would you consider yourself more of a visual leader, or are you one of those guys like likes to lead with your talk, with helping motivate guys? Which kind are you?
Yeah, so I'm not really good at giving speeches and all. So I just try to lead by being an example on the
Yeah,
field.
yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's the best. Those are the best kind of leaders, to be honest with you. Tell these coaches, are you a film guy? You like to study your film, your opponent each week to maximize your performance on Friday nights?
Yeah, I don't think I could play games successfully without studying my opponent and just knowing everything that they're gonna do.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. And then, tell from a recruiting standpoint, obviously you have good size, you've got great film, you're physical. Who are you hearing from? Who do you want to hear from? Give us a little bit of background about your recruiting experience so far.
Yeah, so uh, I really just want to wait. When you mean by who do you want to hear from? Like you mean college coaches?
Yeah, school. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't say that correctly. Yeah.
Yeah. So my most of my college choices has just been colleges here in Texas because I just want to be as close as I can to my family when I'm in college.
Yeah.
So I've just been looking up and trying to get in contact with coaches here in Texas.
Okay. Yeah, good. So that answers my next question that you want to stay close, stay here in the state of Texas, stay close to your family so they can see you play, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. And then you're obviously a good athlete. We already heard you play rugby. You obviously play football. What other sports do you play being such a good athlete?
Uh, I used to play basketball, but I stopped doing that. Oh yeah, and I ran track in middle school.
Okay.
I
Good.
was gonna run track and play basketball here now in high school, but I just want to focus on rugby and football because those two are like complementary to each other. They help each other. So
Definitely. No, it definitely makes sense. Tell us, obviously, rugby and football, coaches love players that are really competitive. Tell these coaches about your competitive spirit. How competitive are you as a player?
yeah, I think what makes me really competitive is my resolve. It's like it's my resolve makes me. I'm fearless on the field. I'm really not scared of anyone. Like most kids on the field are either bigger than me or taller, and it really makes no difference to me. I'm gonna hit them. It doesn't really matter who they are. And so that's what makes me competitive. My resolve is I need to do this. My family made so many sacrifices, and I want to be an example to my siblings. So it's a must for me.
Yeah. You know, you and I are part of now I would say a dying breed, but there's a lot of kids that would rather play quarterback or receiver, running back or DB. Linebacker is a special position. Tell these coaches in your own words why you love playing the linebacker position.
So I love playing linebacker because, well, mostly because I can just hit people and I can just lay the wood on
Right.
people. And
Right.
I feel like linebackers, you have to be the most athletic on the field when it comes to a balance of strength and speed, and also football IQ. This is like my second year technically playing linebacker. My first year was all about, my junior year was my first year playing linebacker. It was all about learning the game and learning how to play linebacker. And so this year I feel like I know what I'm doing more, and it would just come like natural to me when I'm playing.
Yeah. No, I think you nailed it. Absolutely. I tell players, fans, coach all the time, playing linebacker, you're the quarterback of the defense. You're taking on 300-pound linemen and getting off there making tackles. You're running with speedy running back. You're trying to help cover speedy receivers. I mean, literally, we do so many things. We have gap responsibilities and man coverage and zone. And so I love the position just for that. And I think I definitely agree with your assessment. And that's why you're so good at your position. We appreciate your time here. Let's finish up. I talked about the elevator pitch before we came on the air here. Tell these coaches in your own words, Anno, why they should recruit you and what you're going to bring to their football program.
Yeah, so I'm a student athlete. I have good grades and I'm good at football. So, and my resolve is what makes me a competitor. I'm not scared of anyone. I don't really care where they came from or their background. My resolve is what makes me fearless. So.
I like it, man. Straightforward and honest. I like that. Well, hey, we look forward. I will be coming down to a game here pretty soon. Looking forward to seeing you play. If you have any questions or any needs for assistance in recruiting, please let me know. Have a great week of practice, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Anna.